Yeah, yeah. Coming up next on Mental Health Matters with Marty, men's health and wellness post-pandemic. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Listen, welcome to another edition of Mental Health Matters with Marty. I'm still here, your mental health hygienist, coming to you live and in living color where the sun is not only shining, baby, let me tell you, it's hot out here in Southern California. Y'all, we in the triple digits, and it's just June. I'm not ready for this till August. I promise you this desert weather is killing us, but listen, I am so glad to be alive and amongst the living today. As they say in church, it's better to be seen than viewed. But we are so glad that you are here. Come on, you're here, you're alive. Now, this is what I want you to do. Get some folk on the show, get some folk on the line. How do you do this now? We engage through, I'm switching up a little bit, Daryl. We engage through, how do we engage? If you're gonna be doing some of our comments, engage us through Mental Health Matters with Marty on Facebook page or on YouTube through our Marcel Media Group. Again, go to our Marcel Media Group if you're on YouTube, or Mental Health Matters with Marty on the Facebook page, and there you can engage with us and we can see your comments. But please like and share this because we have a great conversation coming on today. But again, let us remind you that this show, Mental Health Matters with Marty, we are a psychoeducational show, and this is to be a supplement. Let me say that again. This is to be a supplement to your mental health and wellness journey. We are not a substitute for your therapist. We are not a substitute for your doctor, but we are a supplement to give us our best opinion that we are having as we're dealing with mental health crisis. But if you are experiencing any type of mental health crisis, please see your nearest urgent care, call your therapist, get you an appointment, and tell them we sent you. Okay, listen, but we are so glad. During this pandemic, we are going out now. We are slowly. We reopened about a month ago here in California. But there are so many crises that are still going up. Hey, Miss Edwards, I've been missing you. Where you been? Hey, good to see you. You know we got turkey legs on here tonight, but I ain't want to gossip. But anyway, it's so good to see everyone. Listen, we want to say this. In the midst of this, we want to say, Black man, how you feeling? How you living? You know, being a Black man in America definitely has been bad for your mental health in 2020. Let me say that again. Being a Black man in America has truly been bad and has caused a lot of mental and psychological illnesses and challenges in the year of 2020. With so many things going on, we just want to make sure that you are doing well. Listen, what's going on, LaDon, my brother? Good to see you from out in Michigan. Love you, man. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Now, what we want to do, peace of mind has been a privilege for everyone else. except the black man. Let me say that again. Peace of mind is an amazing privilege, but has been extended to everyone else except the black man, not just in 2019, not just in 2020, but we're looking at 2021 as well. So many things have been going on. We cannot ignore George Floyd. We cannot ignore Ahmaud Arbery. We cannot ignore Breonna Taylor. We cannot ignore this pandemic. We cannot ignore the insurrection that happened on the Capitol on January 6th. We cannot ignore all these things. We cannot ignore the anxiety rate that has gone through the roof. We cannot ignore that vaccinations, yes, although they are great for us, we cannot ignore the Tuskegee experiments. We cannot ignore the black men and black young boys being misdiagnosed and over medicated. We cannot ignore all the systemic racism and challenges that continue that we have to face. But yet, we're expected to keep our sanity. We're expected not to be angry. We're expected not to have any type of mental health crises. But we're expected to go on with life as if nothing is happening. And I'm saying today, black man, how you feeling? I don't know about you, but I know there's been times that I've been stressed. There's been times that I felt like throwing in the towel, but I could not, and I refused to. So I'm fighting like hell to keep my mental health intact. And that's what we're talking about today. How you feeling, how you living. June is still Men's Health and Wellness Month. And we want to conclude June by specifically talking to black men. So ladies, I need you to get your husbands. I need you to get your boyfriends. I need you to get your sons, your uncles, your nephews, your friends, anyone, your pet dog Scooby on here so we can have this conversation. But I'm so glad that I don't do this show alone. I'm so glad to bring back, listen, y'all, all the way from the DMV, none other than my brother, my colleague, my ninja when he want to be, my road dog, all the way from the DMV. So glad he's joining us back again. None other than Thomas Davis himself. What's up, Thomas?
Good afternoon, good evening, Martinez Sellers. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, my brother. How you feeling? How you living?
I am living awesome. I'm living large, and I am myself, and I'm honored to be in the presence of Mental Health with Marty, aka Marcel Consult.
What's up? How you feel? Man, I've been missing you. What's been going on? I haven't had this much fun and bantering somebody in a minute.
Marty, it's just great to laugh. It's great to laugh. I was listening to your introduction, and I was sharing it with a lot of people, a lot of friends that I know. Shout out to my friends that are watching.
Yes,
I know that you are because you all have texted me. But I just want to just highlight what you said. Thank you so much for continuing to bring awareness. Hello there.
Hold on. We got Miss Penny on the line. Miss Penny, I've been missing you. I heard you. Now that you're going the right format, I can see your comments. I've been missing you. I know we got turkey legs on here, so we're so glad that he with us. We got nothing but love for you. Miss Penny, love you. And I got to give out to one other shout out to someone else who's great, has not missed any of my shows since her son has been producing it. Giving much love to Miss Mitchell as well. I got nothing but love for her. Yes, that's right. I can't wait to get back into ATL because we are definitely going to Papados and just kick back and eat like we champions. Yes. These two, yes. Okay, back to you, Thomas.
Are you sure? I know this is your show and I'm a visitor, so I don't want to step out.
You're all right.
Side note, I'm waiting for your invitation to be accepted for Move Mountains and Break Barriers since you want to start tonight. But in other news, I want to shout out you so much for all that you are continuing to do to bring awareness to us as black men. I think that is very key, and I think that is very critical for us to let our black men know that it is.
That's right.
One thing is, number one, it is okay to not to be okay. And number two, it is okay to let those emotions out. So thank you so much for your platform. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing all across the coast, East Coast, West Coast,
brother, we in this game together.
Midwest.
You doing it too. So don't just make it seem like I'm the only one doing it. You're doing it. Our other guest panelists coming on here, brother Pernell, he's doing it. Can we just bring brother Pernell on? Let's bring brother Pernell
Yes.
on. Yeah,
Thank
come on.
you.
All the
Get
way
me off the
from
limelight.
down south in Florida. Welcome for the very first time. But this brother is so powerful. I've been following him on Instagram, IG, and I just reached out to him and said, listen, bro, I like what you're doing. Can you please come on the show? And he just said, without a doubt, without any hesitation. So welcome for the very first time, but definitely not his last time, all the way from Central Florida, my brother Pernell Bush. How you feeling, bro?
I got this thing off mute. How y'all doing, man? I appreciate you having me, Marty, Thomas, man.
Yeah.
You guys are hilarious. It's hilarious.
Listen, you know what?
I ain't saying nothing else, brother.
You know what?
You done.
There's a misconception that black men, we don't smile, that we don't laugh, that we can't have a good time, that we can't, can I say this? Have some brotherly love amongst each other and have a good. I know without a doubt, if I need anything, I can call on my brother here, Thomas. I know, man, we just met, but even professionally, I said, brother Pernell, I need some help. How do you do this and all this? And we are willingly to share all of our information, share our resources, because this thing is bigger than us. It's bigger than us. It is about helping other black men specifically, in what we do. So, brother Pernell, since it's your first time on the show, let the audience know Paula. Listen, brother Pernell, if you don't know Paula, everyone needs
awesome.
a Paula.
Everybody need a Paula.
Everybody need a Paula. She's in Connecticut, and I think she's connected to everybody, and she got a straight line with Jesus. And yeah, and she know everybody, and she just she's the great connector. And I appreciate you, Paula, and congratulations to your son graduating. And she's just awesome. And our prayers go out to her as well with that. So she knows why we're praying for her. But Brother Pernell, talk to us. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how you're making a difference in Central Florida.
Well, once again, I want to thank you guys again for allowing me to come on and be a part of this conversation this evening. Pernell Bush, born and raised in the state of Florida, in the city of Sanford. Majority of individuals know about the city of Sanford due to the Trayvon Martin case. That's that tragic incident and that tragic incident took place. Outside of that, I'm a United States Marine infantry rifleman, turned social worker, turned psychotherapist. So I've had an interesting journey. Becoming a mental health therapist was never on the top of my list.
Right.
I tell you, it definitely happened by chance. Everything happened for a reason, though.
That's right. Man, I have a Marine in my family. Now, I probably couldn't last, but I appreciate you, brothers. And listen, Thomas, I haven't seen you in a long time. You look so good. Paula, don't boost up his head. Don't boost up this brother's head.
Hey, Thomas.
Paula. Yes, sir.
That's that son. That's what it is.
Hey, Pernell can come on the show anytime.
Hey, Pernell, rule number one: what happens in the green room stays in the green room.
Just saying, man. That's that. I'm from Florida. We got beaches all around us. That's
yes, sir.
It is the tan, but it's also called working out and men's health. So there you go.
Okay, that's it.
Love you.
Yeah. But Pernell, another area we don't address is a lot of PTSD for especially for our military men and what that's like. And if we were to be totally honest, and I'm just going off the top of my head, especially when we're talking about black men who served the military, who served our country, who are not getting the necessary services that they need, whether it's lack of exposure, lack of resources, or what have you in that. Talk to us about, because is that one of your passions? And why did you become a mental health social worker turned therapist, if you will?
Definitely. I'm going to answer the latter part of that question first.
Okay.
the way I became a mental health a social worker and a clinical social worker now was through a career aptitude test. Man, when I got home from the Marine Corps, I had no idea what I wanted to do. All I knew was about playing football and carrying a rifle. So when I got home, I took a career aptitude test, and social work was at the very top. And when I tell you, I was mad as hell. I was because the last thing I see, because if you don't know anything about the profession of social work and fluidity, I tell people I love that we're very fluid curriculum.
Yes.
We can go to almost every sector. If you don't know about the profession, you would just think, oh man, I'm going to take people kids.
Right. Thank you.
But I tell you this, man, this profession, it matched me through and through with my personality, with my heart, with my bloodline, and I wouldn't trade this profession for anything in the world. I'll tell you.
Wow.
So, but I guess the first part of that question really talk about PTSD and being a black male, even being a veteran. So what's interesting, I only spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, and I was an infantry rifleman. I signed up for that lifestyle. I didn't get drafted. I wasn't part of that draft era. I took an ASVAB test. I signed up to be an infantry rifleman, which means I knew I was going to be on the front line. I understood what I was going to put myself into. And, I found it interesting. I did 2 combat tours, Iraq, and I also was a part of the Hades humanitarian relief in 2010 when a major earthquake happened. So when I got home, it's interesting, for me. Every veteran got their own personal story. This is my personal story. So I hope whoever listening, they don't take offense and disrespect my story and my healing process. I found it interesting that they definitely tried to blanket us with a lot of services, right? Go to counseling, you're a veteran, you did this, did that. And I'm like, man, where was this type of services from the time I was born to 18 years old? Because of the community I grew up in. My livelihood. When I'm watching my mother go in and out of jail, when I'm seeing family shot, when I'm experiencing living below poverty without lights and water, and then you tell me to go to school and
Come on, talk to us, Brother Pernell.
So, ultimately, I tell people I love what we're doing for our veterans. And I'm gonna continue to work with veterans. I love veterans through and through. But also I think about the younger generation that oftentimes that birth to 18 who don't really have that voice and can't really articulate their feelings. When I was getting labeled with ADHD, and if you guys know about ADHD and PTSD, they almost look very similar.
Thank you.
So you telling me, they look similar. So think about this now. You telling me I got ADHD, but I go home, watch my mother go to jail, go home, I'm falling out around, go home and living.
Talk to us.
And now this is technically post-traumatic stress that my behavior is exhibiting that. But you're saying, hey, he just got ADHD.
Right.
So that's why I'm very slow to diagnose, especially our young men. I want to know. That's why I love social work as well, because we do the whole biopsychosocial. I want to know what's going on with the biology, understand the psychology, and social biology. What's going on there, and maybe that's going to give me a full picture in this assessment to really explore this diagnosis. And I don't want to just give you a blanketed diagnosis so I can get paid through insurance or Medicaid.
Right, Thomas, I see you now. Thomas, tell Brother Pernell, because he don't know what you do, man. Come on, share with him. So I wasn't expecting the conversation going this way, but I love it because it's right. It's right. Black men, that's right. Talking about diagnosing other black men. Talk to us, Thomas.
The first thing that I do want to say to this young man that called me out is you started off powerful. And what you said to me that I resonated was that we need to start looking at our emotional and our physical when we are born. As we begin to grow through life, as we begin to go through those wonder years, as we begin to try to figure out who we are, what are those things that are on our bodies? What are they doing? Why are certain things happening? And we also got to take into consideration what he just said so eloquently, our social, emotional, and family backgrounds.
That biopsychosocial, yes.
And so, just to give you a quick synopsis, sir, we are on the same page. So, I'm a licensed professional counselor. We have a business here. I'm the black male owner of a counseling agency in Washington, D.C. called Limitless Possibilities. And what you just said, sir, is the reason why I named Limitless Possibilities Limitless.
Right. You see that? You see that? No limit, no limit. See, y'all on the
You
same
already
page.
know. You already know. I don't already added you on social media. We gonna talk. And the reason why I come up, I name Limitless is not for why me. It is not about alpha. It's about the fact that we have to think in our mindsets that no matter what we are going through, our possibilities are still limitless. No matter that the fact that mom is in jail, no matter the fact that my father left me at the age of 13, I still had to believe that my possibilities to be an owner is limitless. So when you said what you said, that resonated with me. And I do agree with you. As a licensed professional counselor, we provide psychosocial evaluations and assessments. I do not identify a client for billing purposes. Those who are in managed care knows if you are billing insurance companies, you got to have that ICD code.
Yep. In the first session, how are you going to properly diagnose someone in the first? You can't.
Marty,
you can't even get paid.
Hey, Marty, don't get me on my soapbox about that, man.
Right. You can't get paid.
You know, honestly, you can't get paid, and it's so ridiculous that you're pretty much. Think about it. Think about this now. If you're a new mental health provider and they say, hey, in order for us to get paid, I need you to make this diagnosis quickly. So this is why we keep getting these same diagnoses. I'm like, hey, have you done the also to make sure that there wasn't anything else that could possibly be there?
Exactly.
And not just what we know we're gonna get paid for, because also that's another different fight that we got with insurance companies, because they only pay you for certain diagnoses. You know, that's a whole other fight. That's a whole other conversation. But
Bruce,
it is.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Bruce, I don't like that. I don't like that word consumer. You can ask any client that works under me. They are a client. They are a teammate. What we say out of our mouth from the start. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
Man, all I'm saying is stay out of my office, bro. Because that's what I tell each one of my clients that walk into my office. You know, this here is a team. This is a partnership. I tell all my clients that. You know, but to really hit on some things that you said, and I love that you said you call your company Limitless. You know, so I have our nonprofit. So I'm also the lead provider for my private practice, or my group practice that I started 5 years ago called Key Counseling Solutions. Key but knowledge empowers you. But however, our nonprofit is called No Limit. No Limit Health and Education. So I love that name Limitless, because honestly, I'm like you. You know, there is no limit that we can possibly create with our lives. You know, I'm very big on acronyms, man. I tell people I'm an acronym person, and you said something to me, something I had to realize later in my life when I started to really explore some of the things that I was experiencing, why I may experience some of my social, emotional, psychological hang up. You know, but I said, you know, I had to start to I'm country, y'all. So we say act.
It's all good.
Act. You know, right. We say act. You know, so I tell people, man, I had to start acting up to act right. And act is ACK. I had to be accountable. I had to be accountable for myself. You know, I understood that although my life may have not looked the way that I think it should have. I may not have the relationship that I thought I should have with my biological mother or my biological father. But I still had to step back and say, well, how can I be accountable? And so I don't allow them to have control over my feelings and emotions and my reactions in life. And that C is consistency. So once I started being accountable, I had to be consistent in the process of the healing. And as I started in the process of the healing, the K is knowledge. I had to understand that I was going to be forever trying to figure out how to heal better. There was never a ending to this growth process. So I had to act up in order for me to act right.
Hey, Marty, can I be excused?
Look, thank you and good night.
But hey, Marty, you know why I'm saying that? Because I use an acronym called ART. We got to learn to accept those things that we can't change. When we begin to learn how to accept those things, then we go on to the art. We recognize it. I can accept the fact that I needed to lose weight, but did I recognize it? And then when I recognized it, what was my plan? What did I do to get to the weight loss goal that I want? And then once I recognized it, I had to transition over and do it. So when you said the arc, I said art. Okay. I'm done. Thank y'all for letting me be on here for 10 minutes.
Appreciate you having.
See you later.
Well, since everybody giving their 3 points like we good Baptist preachers, you know what I say? I say, speak up, speak out, and live. I gotta speak up and live. That's right. I got to speak up for myself. I got to speak out for others so that we can live. And I love it because what y'all listen, get the folk on the line, y'all. Share this. We have 3 black male clinicians telling you how. 4. There's 3 right here.
Yes. One in
Who's
the back.
The 4th? Okay,
the producer.
The producer? Yes, sir. Well, yeah, our producer. Yes. We in here trying to tell you we are not going to just give any type of diagnosis to anyone who dawns our doors in our private practices. We're going to take the time to understand the connectivity. We're going to take the time to see what's the contributing factors to your diagnosis. We're going to take the time to say not just what is the presenting problems, but what are the triggers that's causing that? What's the backstory in that? Because that's how you get an accurate diagnosis. We're not going to just diagnose you to throw anything on there just so that we can get paid. Now, do we need money in order to keep the doors open? Most definitely we do. But I like it. We are willing to take our time and lose out on that first payment, if you will, so that we are now, because we understand how labels can define us. Black man, are you okay? How are you feeling? We don't want to give you a label that's going to put you in a negative headspace, but we want to listen. Your name, if I could borrow from a gospel song, your name is Victory. Come on, I was listening to that today. Whoa. My name is Victory. Yes. Because we want to make sure that you're healthy. We want to make sure that you're healing. And we want to make sure that you're whole in everything we do. So that's why, listen, Brother Pernell, listen, you done came in here and messed us up today. But when you're passionate, and I love that, when you're passionate about it, we don't care. We don't want you to be defined by your past, because we know that you've overcome some insurmountable odds. Thomas has overcome insurmountable odds. I've come over some insurmountable odds of growing up in a domestic violent household for 16 years, where the social worker probably should have come in and removed, but it's only because of what we've gone through, we want to make sure that we not only make a difference in other children's life, but young black men and men as a whole. Definitely. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So listen, I do know all of our practices, I have a waiting list of black men at this point in time. And I'm trying to push them through as quickly as possible, because I know that times have been difficult. My brother LaDon right there, listen, that brother's got a story. He's a walking miracle. Black man who recovered from a stroke. Brother, his blood pressure was 280 over 176. He should have been dead. After he had the stroke, he drove. That's a whole nother show. But recognizing when we are in trouble, recognizing that this pandemic has taken a toll on all of us. Pernell, talk to us about what you're seeing in your practice, and how do we encourage men, specifically black men today, and their health and wellness, mental health wellness?
To be honest, when it comes to that, even before the pandemic, a lot of us as men, we have never been taught how to recognize those emotions, right?
That's good.
A lot of things that we go through as adults, or how we experience life as adults, is what we learn from birth to 18 years old.
Right.
And I don't know about you guys, between that age, I really didn't never talk to my homeboys about, I'm feeling hurt today.
Right.
Or, I'm feeling right now, I feel overwhelmed. That's something that I never experienced from birth to 18 years old. So first thing I tell any men that walk to my office, let's be okay. Let's become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's good. Oh, that's good.
And truly allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and this is something that this is new to you, it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. Majority of men that come to my space with me, in those first 3 sessions, like, yo, this feels weird. I'm talking about myself. Right. Right. Because there's really not places that men feel safe to really disclose what they may be feeling internally.
That part. And I love it. And I'm gonna let you go. You said, let's be comfortable with being uncomfortable. But that only happens when men feel safe. That's so key. That's so key. Go ahead. So how do you create that safe environment?
When it comes to me creating that safe environment for my clients, it is really, when people walk into my office, first and foremost, a lot of them be surprised that I'm the therapist, right?
Right.
And they so surprised. And, like one of my clients say, "Man, you like a big security guard teddy bear." I'm like, "What?"
Right.
Right. But really, how he broke it down, like, while I walked in, you have this presence about you. But when I sit in space with you, it feels comfortable.
Yes.
I don't feel flush. And that's as clinicians, we have to understand how to monitor and measure that space of rapport building with our clients.
Yes. That's so important.
Right, because a lot of people that have never engaged in the therapy process before, they only know what they've seen in media. And they come in and it's going to be a very dry person, like, how was your day?
Right. Look, how are you feeling?
Yeah,
how does that make you feel?
Definitely.
Like, I'm pissed off. So how you gonna make me feel now?
Right. So when they walk in, they realize this is a real human who's there, who actually showing signs of empathy with you, or the emotion that you may need in that moment, while still utilizing my professional training to utilize therapeutic techniques.
Yeah.
It creates a more comfortable, secure environment. So now you went from security, feeling secure, from feeling safe to feeling secure. I say safe and secure.
That's good.
Two different things.
And those are just basic human needs. The feeling of safety and security. I had a new brother come into that I took in today for his very first session. 6'3", about 270 pounds. Came in there, solid brother, and he go, "Man, this all right. We kept it very professional. We gave him some water. He came and said, "Bro, chill, have a seat." And he just goes, "You're right. We're creating that atmosphere of safety." And at the end of it, he goes, "I've never shared this much with anyone. I've never shared this much with anyone. Since you got more out of me in 45 minutes than I've shared with anyone in my entire life." And so you're right, creating that safety and security. Thomas, how do you create that with your Black male clients?
So number one, what is very key and what's very important is that we all are credentials, right? We all have our license. We all have our expertise. We all have put in that work. The first thing that I want to share that we all who are listening tonight that are therapists is that you cannot provide the same intervention the same way to every client that walks into your office.
Come on.
You cannot engage with the same intervention, the same communication, the same theoretical approach with everybody that walks in your door. I have some of my therapists that are watching tonight, Marty, and they would blow up this chat and tell you, this is what I tell my staff. If it takes Johnny to get what you're saying, if it takes for Johnny to understand what anger management is by walking around that block 4 times, guess what?
We walk around
that block
we
4
walk around the
times.
Like give a cold bottle of water and keep it pushing.
The second thing that we got to also understand is we as Black men, we have been taught to be the protector. We have been raised to be the provider. We have been instilled that you keep your emotions on the inside. When that Black male walk into your office, see that person for what they are showing you and telling you, not what you have seen on black and white. So when my team, when my therapist, when my staff, when my clients walk into Limitless, my first thing is, so tell me who you are.
That's
my intervention is describe yourself and give me 7 adjectives. What do you see when you look in this mirror?
But isn't that the hardest thing for Black
Yep.
men to identify? Yeah. And I've had several after the
Yes.
second one sit there and go, I don't know.
Well, no.
Right.
Listen,
I don't.
Right.
that's so common. That is so common,
Yes.
man. It's interesting that you guys say that, because that's one of the first exercises. It's one of the exercises that I do with some of my clients.
Right.
You know, I want you to really list 7 things that you like about yourself, or that is positive things about you. And it seems so tough, especially for our Black men.
It is.
You know, and then, you know, if I tell them right now everything they don't like about themselves or things that they did, they can list it off so quick.
The list, yep.
It goes on. You know, it can be extensive. And it shows you, you know, and oftentimes, you know, I do a lot of psychoeducation within my space as well. And in our minds, a lot of times our minds and our physiology, we remember some of the negative things because of the feeling that it creates. So the positive things that we have about ourselves is sometimes it's more difficult to really bring up to the surface, to the conscious.
Yes, that's it. And we don't recognize it.
We don't.
And Marty,
go ahead, Thomas. You're chomping at the bit.
What about this? We know what CBT is, right? Cognitive behavior therapy.
Right.
We know what the techniques are. We know what the cognitions, with the behaviors, with the thoughts.
Yes.
We know what CBT is. Right. When you are interacting with someone and you're trying to do CBT, don't talk over their head.
Thank you.
Talk to them.
Yes.
Reach them where they are. And if you are questioning and still uncomfortable that I did not use this cognition word, you explain to them after you finish the intervention. So this is what we just did. We went over CBT. CBT is blah, blah, blah. You exhibit it by doing X, Y, and Z. You got to learn to reach your audience where they are.
But that's why that's why Black men come to us. Because my client today, he has done through couples today, and he just goes, man, when I talked about gang life and when I talked about smoking and drinking and that, you didn't flex or it didn't bother you. I'm like, bro, I got family member who gang members. So why it ain't gonna bother me? You know, and then we talked about, you know, just why he got into it, and the you know that it really represented an extended family. It wasn't about doing the crazy stuff that the media wants to. It represented the family that he never had and what that looked. So we can relate to that.
Right.
So now you're teaching him. So I said, oh, so you're a protector. Yeah. You're a provider. Yeah. So you're a ride or die. Yeah. So now we're pulling out his strengths. I said, do you see the strength in that? Yeah. So now he was able to feel good about himself in the context, even though some of the situations were negative, we pulled out the strengths of that. So he left out of there saying, I'm not as bad as I thought I was. I'm like, no, you ain't bad. I said, you're a good man. So in that, it changes the whole scope and dynamic. Why? Like you said, Brother Pernell, we were able to go into the biopsychosocial about that. Look at the environment and assess it from a healthier point of the things he did right and why he made those choices to validate where he's at. Come on, talk to us, Brother Pernell.
Man, you know, that is so it's interesting that you utilize that type of conversation you have with your client, because I also am working with a client as well, Latino male who had he's now in his mid-40s, and he has a lot of guilt about everything that he you know. And one of the things that when we was working through it, you know, he kept saying, I hate that I'm a follower. I hate that I'm a follower. But as we talked about, you know, I tell my clients, we go back in your past to understand why we are where we are in our current situation. You know, and, you know, as I learned about his family background, learned about that social development, you know, the parental attachments that he had, I said, was it that you were a follower or that you were looking for guidance?
Different perspective.
Different perspectives, right? Because, you know, when you look at yourself like, I'm a follower, I can never make the good decisions on my own. I'm terrible. When you start like, well, were you really just being a follower, or were you literally joining this game to find guidance that you
Right.
You know, so those type things that you guys said, you know, the reframing.
Yes.
And then go from there to talk, you know, so I tell my clients, I'm very eclectic in the modalities that I utilize.
We have 3
foundations. You have to be. As Thomas said, you can't walk into every clinical situation with every client and utilize the same techniques. It may not work.
Right.
No.
It won't work. Not
right.
may not. It won't work.
It won't work,
No.
right? So you have to really be okay with going and trying different things, and trying and it have to be. That's why I say for us as clinicians, always to stand abreast and being well versed in what different modalities may be out there.
Yes.
Right.
To try those things within this clinical space and see what works for them. You may have your foundational modalities, but continue to be open and once I utilize the word fluid. Very fluid in what you may have to utilize in that space with that client.
Yes.
So it's
If I can add another F word, Bruce, I would say fluid and flexible.
Fluid and flexible.
Okay. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
You have to be flexible in your thinking.
Yes, sir. Sir. And that's why I love. So go ahead, Marty. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's what you love. Go ahead. Finish that thought.
No. What I was about to just say real quickly is that's why I enjoy working with new clinicians coming out of school. Because a lot of times when we're in school, they teach us these in the box type thinking, and then I say, well, you got to understand the populations that you may be working with. These part. Not work, like I said, so you got to be flexible. You got to be okay. You have to be fluid with what you may have to utilize to be an effective therapist working with the client and populations that you're working with.
Right.
Come on. Exactly. And I'm going to say this too. You have to have passion and love what you do. Man, and you can tell you can't, even if you're a halfway decent therapist, if you have passion and show that you care about the person, you're going to connect just right there. And you can use one intervention and do that one. I beat one of my clients up so bad, brother. I said, bro, he was just bragging about all his, and I'm going to say it this way, maladaptive behaviors. I said, bro, don't come in here with that mess today. He goes, I thought you was going to come. I said, you ain't done nothing. You up here glamorizing your tired life. Now, he like, dang. I said, I'm that's how I act. He roll like that. I'm going to roll like that.
Right.
So real quick, as we're coming out this pandemic now, there's definitely heightened anxiety, y'all. We've definitely seen increased mental health needs for Black men. All of us have. We've seen that. We've definitely seen that even suicide ideation has increased. Loss of wages and loss of jobs definitely increased with that. Not having proper, maybe they can't afford internet services and their kids need it for school, increased with that. Our stressors increase. And I was reading an article earlier today, and we even was talking about because of the insurrection, what we fail to realize, because of the insurrection, a lot of Black men and women's anxiety increased tremendously because that was a direct, thank you. I know mine did. Because that was a total breach and it was destroying the foundation. It's already bad enough that our system was already shaky. And now to get in like this, because we all knew, listen, we just had a Black Lives Matter movement. There was no way they were getting that close. So there was a huge disparity in even the judgment and how they treat Black men who are supposed, and even us supporting and speaking out against social injustice versus folk who don't look like us. So how do we encourage and what do we tell our audience and Black men today, Brother Pernell, and how to manage this stress and anxiety that seems to be going through the roof? And what do we do?
To be honest, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. Once again, I'm very big on acronyms. I'm a United States Marine. And one of my acronyms is that I utilize is RAC, R-A-C. So, rats on rats on rats. Truly recognize the feelings, thoughts, and concerns that you may be experiencing. Recognize it. And then once you recognize it, acknowledge it. We can recognize somebody that just because you recognize it, you acknowledge it. When you acknowledge it, that means there's something that needs to be done about it. And then commit to a process, a plan of receiving help or going to get support services or reaching out to those within your support service.
Nice.
So that's really, that's one thing I could just tell us as men. We have to truly once again, feeling okay. This past has been a lot. This past year, and
Yeah.
this even like before the past year, but this past year made us all have to sit down and truly
Yes.
feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's very uncomfortable because we couldn't leave. We were at the stay-at-home orders, and so now you're right. I had to sit in not only these emotions, but
Yeah,
sitting in the present emotions. The past emotions surfaced even bigger too. So now I'm not only dealing with my present thoughts, but now all the rush of everything, all those past things got added onto it. That's why I call this time period complicated periods. Yeah, yeah. Come on, come on. See, Paula, I'm right with you, Paula. I'm right with you, Paula. Complicated. So if you already had some sort of depression, now we have complicated depression. If you already had
mm,
some sort of anxiety, now you had complicated anxiety. If you already had some
yeah,
sort of PTSD, you already have complicated PTSD in the midst of this. And now going untreated with that as well. So we
right.
definitely have seen
So
an increase in. Go ahead.
and I don't know about in y'all area, but I know here where I am in the Central Florida, Greater Orlando area, there's not many black male therapists. Sometimes, I tell people,
There's
one time,
not.
sometimes you come to a space and look like you want to look at someone that looks like you or that you think may have some type of familiarity with what you may be going through. And by
Right.
there not being any black male therapists, that's where I come in. I try to be creative and
Right.
try to think outside the box to create spaces for black
Yes.
men to go into and to be able to express themselves in a safe environment. So, one of the
Yes.
things that we've been doing up under my nonprofit organizational umbrella, we have started a barbershop initiative where we're training barbers to be mental health advocates. We do
Yes.
different events, like we did a movie and mental health night where we rented out a movie theater with the new Mortal Kombat and hosted a mental health panel. Things to
Oh my
really address, at
goodness.
least provide those educational moments until if they can't see a person or until they're able to get into a session with someone.
Man, okay, you give me some Thomas, brother Pernell, you got to come back, man. You got too much knowledge. We got to be tapping in. He done rent our whole theater. Say, come on in. We're gonna watch the movie and have a discussion.
Real, man, because that was that evening was great, man. We had about 50 to
Yeah.
55 men show up. We had the mental health
Wow.
panel for 45 minutes, and then we all just sat back and watched the new Mortal Kombat. So
Wow.
it was a great evening. So I tell people, man, I look at us as therapists, as black male therapists, as that as painters working on a blank canvas. Because any school that you go into, they tell you by, oh well, you can't really reach this population. This population don't show up, probably because they didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
right vessels, the right
Right.
individual. So I say,
Right.
try different things to bring men out into a space where they feel
Yes.
comfortable with other men and have conversation. I had a bourbon and mental health night. Now I'm not promoting drinking, however, it was just a bourbon tasting, and we had a conversation. I had a few of my other partners that were mental health therapists, and we had a
That's
conversation
good.
about mental health. So but it opened
You
up
got me
the
thinking.
yeah. Hey, listen, man, that's what we're supposed to
I
do.
like that. I like
We
now.
got, we
Now
got, we got
I like
love.
a good bourbon now. I like me a good bourbon now.
Yeah, feeling comfortable. I think I had to become comfortable with trying different things, because
But we
as
have to.
when I train it, sometimes I'm like, man, can I do this? I'm like, yo, it's not illegal, it's not unethical. Let's do it.
Right, right,
Right.
right, right, right.
Right.
Reach these men.
But what I love what you're doing, you're meeting men right where they're at. And so now you got me thinking here because I know that cigar smoking is one of the. Why can't we have a cigar lounge in mental health?
I did that.
Oh, look, Thomas. Book our flights. We going to Florida, man. We're going to hang
Listen,
with
man,
Brother
I
Pernell.
did that, man. We had a cigar and mental health type of evening where we invited 10 to 15 men that was a part of this
Right.
organization.
Mm-hmm.
This group called Cigar Porn and whatnot. And then we sat and smoked cigars and had a conversation about some of the things that we as a men experience from a social, emotional, and psychological standpoint. And gave out tools and solutions and interventions.
And see that's that safe, secure space you're talking about.
Yeah.
Barbershops, cigar lounges, having bourbon night, but see what I love it. You're dealing with a different now. You're dealing with a different echelon of men. You're dealing with more professional men in a lot of time, and there is definitely a need to reach that group of men that still have lots of mental health crises, but we're not reaching them. Thomas, I already see the wheels of your mind turning with Brother Pernell, what he's telling us.
Well, let me say this. This is more so to our viewers on this evening.
Mm-hmm.
I've never met this brother until backstage.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to share to our viewers tonight is it is important to connect yourself with like-minded people,
Yes.
individuals who are going somewhere, individuals that have a vision, individuals that can support you and uplift you in those times that you are questioning yourself. And I want to say this also, Marty.
Mm-hmm.
We are three black males with three different personalities, but we all love what we do.
That's right.
We bring our own sense of flavor. We bring
Right.
our own sense of ideas. And
Right.
just being on this platform this evening solidified, Bruce. I'm sorry, sir. When you said what you said earlier, Pernell, when you said what you said earlier, I said on Sunday night, we was talking about what is the importance of being truthful to yourself and walking in your truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You said something that we said on Sunday night. COVID, the pandemic, and let's fast forward it to June 29th, the Delta virus and the Delta Plus that is coming back full circle. During those times of uncertainty, we as individuals and as black men had to do what? We had to face our own demons.
Yes. Yes.
We had to deal with some inner stuff that we was pushing off because on Friday nights, we were at those happy hours. We were at those hookah bars. When we had to sit down and stop, we had to realize, hey, this is not working. So, Marty, to answer your question, what I am encouraging all of my black males to do is two things. Have a strategy and be specific within that strategy. What is your plan? There is life outside of this. We may have to wear a mask. We may have to physical distance for the rest of our lives. So what is the strategy in that? You don't want to wear a mask? Go to Coach. Coach is having those designer masks. And if you can't afford Coach, go down the street to the hood and get you a Roach of Coach mask. But what is your strategy, though? And in that. Because sometimes we want the white fence and we want this white picket house. But what we don't realize is that you got to upkeep it. You got to sand it down. You got to repaint it. You got to take some old boards, old habits off and replace them with new boards, new ideas. So what is your strategy? What are you going to do to get it and be specific about it?
That's it.
Daryl, can you put back LaDon's comment? LaDon said about this sitting with his demons it was not pretty. But no. you said it right when you said during that time we got to resand, we got to repaint, we got to replace some boards, and sitting with those uncertainties, sitting with those insecurities. We have to shore up some things. A house is about to fall. If the foundation is bad, we got to shore that foundation. And that's exactly what sitting with those, if you will, if we're going to say it that way, sitting with those demons, we're reassuring and shoring up the foundation so that now that when we build the house, it can weather the storm. Storms are going to come. See, what we have to talk about is that we're going to, there's things in life that are always going to make us anxious, but anxiety doesn't have to define us. There's going to be times in life that we're going to be depressed, but depression doesn't have to define us. When it lasts past a day or two, go ahead, Brother Pernell.
Man, and I'm glad that you said that these things don't have to define us. Ultimately, I tell clients, any of my clients that walk to my office, if I do see there's a diagnosis that may need to be addressed, I tell my clients, don't take this diagnosis to heart as if this is you.
That's right.
This diagnosis is a roadmap. It's letting us know what we will run into any pothole dead ends, so we can come up with a better route to take that will allow us not to slip into an episode with these diagnoses. So I'm glad you said that. Because ultimately, what I'm seeing, I don't know if you guys seeing the same thing, especially with this younger generation. A lot of them these diagnoses. It's almost like a badge of honor to have it. Like this.
Right. Right.
There's nothing wrong with it, but ultimately, I don't want you to try to identify with it.
Right.
This is a part of your lived experience right now.
It doesn't have to be, and it should not be in most cases, a life sentence. And we're wearing it like it's a life sentence. Wow. Listen, I can't believe our time is up, man. Listen,
Is it?
brother. I know we've had this has been such an amazing, brother Pernell. Listen, you're gonna get tired of me bugging you, but Thomas, we got another brother for life.
Hey, Pernell, he's all yours. He's all yours.
Wow. Okay,
Go
Thomas.
ahead, give him up, huh? Giving them on up. I feel you. I feel you. But now, honestly, I want to tell you both, man, I appreciate you all for having me on and having this conversation because this is much needed.
Yeah. Brother Pernell, how can our
Yes.
viewers find you, follow you, and keep up with all the amazing work you're doing down there in Central Florida?
Definitely. So you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter as Pernell Bush. On Instagram, you can find me as the Juggernaut _therapist.
All right.
Please,
Yes.
Man, nothing's going to stop me when it comes to healing our community. So let's keep that pushing.
I love that. No limits, nothing is stopping him healing our community. Listen, y'all, if you, Miss Paula, I know you're gonna follow my brother because he's doing an amazing job. LaDon, follow him. Listen, everybody follow this young man. He's doing a great work in Central Florida. We got you know, we don't mind a road trip. Come on, Thomas, we don't mind a road trip.
So let's go, man.
Let's go.
Thomas, how do we continue to follow you with Limitless Possibilities?
Marty, first of all, thank you again for this opportunity to be with you once again. I love you, brother. Thank you for all that you are doing for us, and thank you for empowering me to keep moving forward. But you can reach me on IG at Limitless Outcomes. You can reach me on my website at www.limitlesspossibilitiesforyou.com. I was scared that my alternative name was going to pop up. That's why I keep looking down at the screen. I knew it. Thank you, Marty. Thank you so much.
Know, I would never do that to you, but you know how it is. But listen, I cannot thank you both enough for all that you do and being on here tonight and sharing our passion that we take this very seriously. We don't want to label us as a community and everything. Again, y'all, thank you for joining us for this edition of Mental Health Matters with Marty. We are so glad that you came and joined us tonight. Please check out, and you can follow us. I think I'm going to try and do this in the right order, but follow, again, my name is Martina Sellis, your mental health hygienist. Please check out our website, and we are updating our website, so check out the website at mentalhealthmarty.com, and please join us and check out all the gear that we have. I'm about to drop some new summer gear on there, some new summer shirts, y'all, that's going to speak and support you in your mental health journey. But also check out our That's It podcast. I got tied up, y'all. Again, Mental Health Matters with Marty on all of your favorite podcasting streaming venues with that. But if you are an Apple listener, please give us a 5-star rating and also give us a review for others to check us out as well. Share it and then become an iMatter member of Mental Health Matters with Marty by texting iMatter to 855-717-1272. We are so excited again for you joining us. And I'm going to reiterate something that Brother Pernell said. He says that we have to we need to recognize, we have to acknowledge, and then we must commit. Listen, we understand that it's been a difficult year and a half, almost 2 years. But like we always say, you do not have to continue to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. But we want you to stop the stinking thinking. It's okay, Black man, to say, I am not okay. And it does not detract or take away from who you are as a man. You don't have to suffer in silence. But as I always say, we want you to speak up, speak out, and live. But always remember to enjoy your life. We'll see you next time.